This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Team GB heavyweight rep and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Lewis Williams. Lewis, how you doing, mate?
Very good, thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. The reason we got you here initially is because you were recently invited out to the training camp of unified world champion Oleksandr Usyk as
Yeah,
he prepares for Rico Verhoeben this Saturday. Just tell us first of all how that came about, how his people got in touch with you, and so on.
literally, mate. It was just a passing of a couple of phone numbers that they'd gone searching for me, and yeah, they requested myself for a few contacts, and I'm very privileged that they've asked for me on a couple of days' notice, and I've jumped at the chance, mate, and head out there. Not knowing how long I'd be there for, and yeah, I've been asking for it for a while, but yeah, this time they'd come searching for me, mate. I don't think anybody can get out there. It's a matter of if they want you.
Did they say why they picked you, why they thought you were suitable for this particular assignment?
No, not really, mate. No, I think Usyk seemed to have liked me because of my speed. So a few of his team had said, and my coach actually had met him when he did a press conference in London, and he actually said like, oh, he's really good, really fast, and everything like that. And they got that on record actually, and then yeah, so he seemed to like that. So maybe it's because of the sharpness and the size of me as well. Um, why not? Why not go faster and then everything comes fight slower, right?
And were you purely there for sparring, or were you working with him with his other elements of training as well?
I wanted to do all the others as well, but I'm guessing if they wanted to do that private, that's fine. But I got tons of rounds out of the sparring there, so that's good enough for me. But I
And
would
how
have
many
loved to have.
rounds in total do you think you did?
Um, I think we worked it out, and I think it was like 70 plus rounds.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
I believe off the top of my head. So yeah, it was a good amount of rounds. Yeah, so we've done it's um, pretty good time, eh?
How do you prepare to spar someone like Usyk, obviously at the very top of the professional game? Is there anyone you've sparred in the past that can kind of you'd relate to it?
No, not really. Like I enjoy the working out, the calculating of opponents and so on. So, of course, like it's a big step, isn't it? Of course, who he is and everything, but that's part of the job is to go in there and take it on, isn't it? But it's a spar that I really enjoyed all my time. Like usually you can just have a really hard time sparring or whatever, taking the pacing, but I really had a great time enjoying calculating him, figuring out what he's working out about me, and doing the same back, and then learning little tricks that he's done to me and repeating them back and so on. So I made it quite fun, and I'm hoping that's going to stay with me and learning those little tricks that he's done because he's the best at calculating his opponents and working them out and taking advantage of them. So really for me it was take everything in I can. And then when I'd finish sparring, I'd sit back and watch. Instead of me jumping on the bags to work out some more, I'd sit and watch to see what little tricks he had done to me that I couldn't quite figure out when I was in there. I can then see it from the outside and see how he'd done it. And yeah, it worked out like really good to learn from both angles. So I'm glad I did it that way.
Were you allowed to practice your normal style, or was there an element of asking you to replicate some of the things they expect Verhoeven to do on the night?
Not really. I did what I usually do, but then they'd ask for a certain set of shots to be thrown in and everything. He'll throw these shots, throw them. So just the added little bit, but nothing major to change at all. Because of course that's my style, isn't it? That's what I guess they've looked out for, and they'll probably take a little bit from each sparring partner that what reason they've taken them in for. So yeah, so there's that. But I'm guessing the way there's no guessing about it. The way he prepares is going to be ready for him, right?
What impressed you the most about Usyk once you got in there up close with him that perhaps people don't see on TV?
Um, I'd say his conditioning. It was unbelievable conditioning. Yes, I know he's smart and everything. I think even if I did more rounds with him on one day, I would be able to see how he could just take your weaknesses and just abuse them over time. But that's when you come to being a 12 round fighter, they're going to take advantage of your mistakes and build on them and take you apart for that. So I could see that from the rounds I did, but doing longer rounds with him, then that would be made more clear to see how he takes advantage of those sorts of things. But because we're rotating sparring partners, you don't get to see that as much. It's only the quick effects of that. But his conditioning was unreal. And he actually told me, he said, the difference from the best, from the average and the proper professionals, the top tier ones, is they don't get tired, and you very rarely saw him get tired. So that was an eye opener.
Where did you find your successes for the most part?
Um, um, don't go making things easy for him, really. I tried to repeat back, like making him think as much as I can. And I spoke with him about this afterwards. I said, usually I'm the sharp one. And I said, and you're still making me think and work even when you're not working. And he says, yeah, 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 yeah. And he did a demonstration about how to do that and everything. So he was teaching me how to do that after the spar. So I was grateful for that. But um, a lot of things, like I was trying to just trick him, play him at his own game, and trick him into working when I was trying to take a break. And that worked quite well for me. But also I'm sure he's just going, you know what, I'm gonna, like, there was some time when I was doing it, but then actually I go, I've had a good round there, and I've gone, actually he's just taken a round off. He's actually, I think I've done something smart, then he's actually done something a little bit smarter. But um my thing was, yeah, I'm going to take the tricks that he does and try and do them back. So obviously he knows they're good, and if I can sell them as good as I can back to him, it's going to be hard work. The best work, it works for the best, then why not repeat it? Hey.
It sounds like very kind of intelligent sparring, kind of watching each other, reacting off each other, rather
Yeah.
than kind of an all-out sort of sparring war. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because I mean, that's just not the way there's exchanges like that, but me, I'm more for my feet. So I think when you build a combination like that, I'm trying to take myself away from those big combinations, and maybe a couple land, but then I'm drifted off, and then we'll counter with some. So that was my idea, to try and stop that from happening. So um, yeah, you could, yeah, it's not going to be an all-out war, but and especially also training for 12 rounds. Are you going to be having all-out wars because you got another sparring partner jumping in afterwards? You know, um,
What did it tell you about yourself and the level you're at? Because at the moment you're obviously just making your way early on in the professional game. You're up
yeah,
against the very best, both amateur previously and professional now in Usyk. What
yeah.
did it tell you about where you are and how far you can go, more importantly?
I'll come away with a lot of confidence with myself. Um, yeah, absolutely. Just the only thing I've come away that I want to work harder, because I've seen the levels where he's working. And I go, actually, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit more professional in my camp. I'm already very professional, but then it just shows there's more levels to it. So actually, I'm going to take away a few little key features here that he practices. But I come away quite confident with myself that actually I can handle myself quite well. Still a lot more to learn. I'm not going to put ego in play and let that go to my head. But I've definitely, yeah, there's more to work on, and of course I'm early on in my career. I've got to learn, and you've got to learn to take on more and more rounds, and get the experience in doing those rounds. So yeah, I'll come away quite happy from my experience there.
And if you're Rico Verhoeven getting in with him on Saturday night, what are the
Yeah.
main things he needs to be wary of? I suppose there's quite a lot, given we're talking about one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world today. But what are the main things you would be concerned about if you were in his corner?
Yeah, that's a tricky one to give, isn't it? Um, you know what the thing is, though, even if you did one thing with him, if you go, all right, I'm going to fight on the inside, or I'm going to fight on the distance, he adapts to it all. Like, I saw him do it all, so that's a really tricky one to answer, because he's just going to adapt to it and find a way. I mean, the guy's coming from his amateur experience, like he's dealt with everything there. Not alone his professional experience that he's done and dealt with the styles that he has. Um, and he just dismantles, like, if you show a gap or a hole or something, he's going to take advantage of that. And especially if you're in there for a longer time with him, he's going to abuse that again and again and again, as he's shown with these, top greatest heavyweights. So yeah, that's a pretty hard one for me to go in as a coaching head to give advice there, mate.
So, do you feel, as some people have criticised the fight, do you feel it's a mismatch?
Um, well, because he's at the top of his game, Rico's at the top of his game. There's the belief that he's going to do some damage and be unorthodox. He might show some early success being unorthodox, but I'm sure those, like a bit like Mayweather versus McGregor, he showed some, like different timing, and he showed some early success at landing the odd shot. The thing is, then a few rounds later, that all gets taken away. It gets taken on board, and then it gets taken away, doesn't it? Because of that, I just think Usyk, he's a top boxer. He's going to go down as one of the greatest ever. I just don't see it going any other way other than Usyk's success, and I don't see it going past 6 rounds.
Any particular shots to be wary of from Usyk specifically? Obviously, we all know about the straight left hand, but anything else?
I don't see it as anything that's particularly dangerous. Like, he's good at most things, and I think that just depends on what openings appear on the fight. So and then he can take advantage of that. So it's not a case of what's good. He's like what me and the other lads were saying. Like, it's not like he's spectacular at one thing. He's good at everything. Which is where you want to be, isn't it? Because you can't then have something taken a weakness of. Nothing shows as a weakness and then that'll be taken advantage of. So he's good at everything. So it's a case of like what gap appears in front of him and he's going to take advantage of it.
Did you discuss going back? And also, did he or his team explain why they chose you for this particular assignment?
No, it wasn't explained to me at all. It was literally a case. It's a professional world, isn't it? It's a case of doing the work and um, me trying to learn as much as I can, saying where can I improve, what can I do, and use their coaching as much as I can. Um, but also, but yeah, I was keen. I said, look, if you want me back again, give me a call. I'll be back for another camp. So yeah, why not? Because I'm just going to learn some more, aren't I?
And on those kind of coaching notes, what did they tell you about where you need to improve?
Literally, it's only some basics of just some like basic defense stuff that I already know. And then by the end of, as soon as I was told that, like, it's like a different, like, do a defense after throwing a shot. The habit started kicking in. So I started doing that, and then I've come away, I've come home, and I'm already doing that as a habit because you know not to throw a shot and give him the advantage of staying there and taking a photo because he's going to take advantage of it. So you've had to learn to do that correctly anyway. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it, aren't you?
So coming back from that, obviously filled with confidence from sparring the best in the world, how does that lend itself to your own career? Does that mean you'll start moving a little bit faster, perhaps, or aiming at titles maybe next year?
Well, this is all down to the management. The thing is, I don't think you can go and put ego. You can't come away from a camp and then go, oh yeah, I'm just going to start jumping at this. If the timing's right and the framework looks correct for it, then I'm going to go where my team tells me to do so. I look at myself as being used as a tool. Um, and they say it's ready. We're going to go for this now. I say, yeah, sweet. My job is just to stay in the gym, stay ready, learn as much as I can, be a sponge, and and do as I'm told. Really, that's the point of me having that team around me. It's not for me to take the lead. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that team there. I'll just go to the gym myself, wouldn't I? And train myself, and do everything off my own knowledge. So it's me to be guided. And it's still early days as well, isn't it? I've done like a year and a half in the professional games. It's still very early days. And as a heavyweight, like Usyk's like, is he 38, 39 now, and he's in prime condition. So there's plenty of time to be reaching those levels. with the heavyweight game. It's a dangerous game, isn't it? So it's about being correct with everything. Learn as much as you can, being correct with timing.
Is there anyone particularly in the professional heavyweight game at the moment that you look up to or that you're taking elements from, apart from Usyk, of course, that you've seen up close?
You know what? Speaking with Joshua as well about being out there, I was telling him actually it's a very humble thing you've done there. Like for someone to be beaten by a boxer and then go into his camp and try and learn from them. I don't think many people's egos in boxing would allow them to do that. But I said like you're able to put that aside and to go there and learn, like be a student of the game again. I take my hat off to him. So I think that is what a way to go. It's not like you go with that tough mentality. No, I don't need that. I'll beat him. Do this. He's gone now. I want to learn from the best as well. So that pecking order got ordered and now he's going to learn from it. Like it's not. I don't think that's been. Can you recall if that's been done before? I was talking about this yesterday. I can't think of anybody that's done that. Um, so I think that it's a big part of taking your ego away and just going, actually, you know what, I'm going to learn something from this loss and take advantage of it in a good way.
Did you speak much to AJ while you were out there? Did you cross paths much?
Yeah, I was always in the gym with him whenever we were sparring. He would have been finishing up his session, so I'd be talking with him quite a lot. Um, and basically talking about what the camp's going like and everything like that, and having a joke and everything. Because obviously it's like a new camp for him as well. So we talk a lot about it. So it's pretty cool to catch up with him after a few years.
What's his kind of mindset like about joining the Usyk camp and learning from someone who's beaten him twice?
Literally, he's just being a student. He's just taking on what is being offered to him there and doing as he's told, which is what I don't think a lot of top boxers are like. I think they may think they know a lot more themselves, and then have their team kind of be yes men for them. But that's just taking that all away and going, you know what, I'm going to go join this camp and be told what exactly to do and be coached, because I think a lot of the time there's a lot of boxers that go, no, I'm going to train at this time, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not coming into training today. But he's being a proper student of it.
It must have been nice for him, I suppose, to have you there as well. Someone he knows, someone who speaks the same language as well, and to kind of compare your experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I find it quite cool because he was quite shocked I was there, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing there?" And so I could have the crack with him and everything. So it was good. It was a good laugh.
Great stuff. So, what's next for you? When are you next out?
I'm just waiting on a confirmation for a date now. So hopefully in the next couple of months I can get back out, get under the lights again. So I'm just getting back to my own routine, being back home. Obviously I'm to a certain routine whilst I was away. Getting back into my routine and get ready for the next date I get given really. So I haven't got a specific date yet, just awaiting that and just polish myself up and get under the lights and get a nice performance underway.
Well, what are kind of the main things you'd say you've learned from the time you spent with Usyk in his camp that you'll be able to apply to your own professional career?
I'd say the professionalism was top tier. Um, I'd say yeah, just like the gym is a proper workplace. There wasn't much mucking about. It was very focused before training and everything like that. It's just a mindset sort of thing that really showed me. And obviously the team is a very professional team. Everybody's got a specific job. So that was good to see. And that's something I was building anyway with my team. So um, everybody has a set job that they specialize in, not kind of like yes men that can just kind of jump from this to that and half-ass something. Everybody's specific to something. So that professionalism is what I've taken away is the main point really, and that focus.
Great stuff. Well, really appreciate your time. Very best of luck in your continuing professional career. And
Thank you
yeah,
very much.
let's catch up again soon.
Cheers, Danny. All right,
Take care,
nice one,
mate.
mate.